Oh no, I just had to restart the recording. I hope that doesn't mean that when I think that might have just stopped when I ended the recording there. Yeah, I think we started at 6:07.
Okay, yeah, so we're like 20 minutes.
This episode of Good Morning Marco has been modified from its original version. The first 15 minutes of this interview are without audio. If you wish to view the full uninterrupted interview without proper audio, you may skip to the timestamp below. Restart the video from here. To listen to the interview with David from Marco Island Sharks, sit back and enjoy Good Morning Marco. This episode of Good Morning Marco is brought to you by Tyler Buchan of the Golf Group. Located right here on Marco Island, they're your go-to experts for luxury living on Marco Island and beyond. Whether you're looking for a waterfront home with golf access, a condo with stunning beach views, or a private retreat down on Hideaway Beach, Tyler and his team will guide you to your home. Visit thegolfgroup.com to start your search today, or call 239-420-1099. Once again, that number is 239-420-1099. Go to thegolfgroup.com to find out more. Thank you so much to Tyler and his team for sponsoring this episode of Good Morning Marco.
20 minutes in.
Okay, cool.
All
right.
right.
And here, do you want to go ahead and start it back up?
Sure. All right. So, David, if you don't mind me asking, I've read a little bit of information, not too much, about some controversy you might have gotten into last year. Do you want to let us know what that was all about?
So, when we started the Marco Island Sharks, I went to City Hall to apply for a license, or to get a license.
Right.
I called, and I was told that we don't make fishermen get license. And so I was like, well, I just want to get my license anyway.
Right.
And there really wasn't one available at the time for it. And so, again, a few days later, I called back up again. I'm like, are you sure? And I was told, no, you don't have to get a license. And the reason why is because nobody's ever done what we've done here on Marco. And to be honest with you, they looked at you. As a matter of fact, later, I was told that I'm just a fisherman, like I'm a nobody. And so nobody expected it to blow up the way that it.
Right.
And so the controversy was started not because of a deceitful effort, but it was because of a lack of belief that someone could blow up a fishing company the way that we did so quickly.
Right.
And so we started shark fishing on the beach every night, literally. It booked out for weeks and weeks and weeks, because it's a thrill of a lifetime.
Is this from you guys going like viral on socials?
No, it just on Marco. At this time we hadn't yet hit our social media stride yet. We're still learning. If you go back and look at our early videos, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But we knew how to catch sharks.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, people wanted to come fishing with us. And we also like to say that we're a good time to hang out with. Like, we laugh, we joke, we cut up. We try to make the most of our time with different people. And so basically, people started complaining because we were shark fishing. And so that's where the controversy was birthed. And the city, to be honest with you, they didn't know what to do. And I'm just a straight shooter, and I tell these people I come through the front door, not the back door. So the city started putting pressure on me and saying that we can't do that. Yet at that time they didn't know what law to put me into or what box to put me into, so they could shut me down.
Yeah.
And then so the city was navigating it. We were working with the police department to handle the calls, because they would get dozens and dozens of calls. Fish and Wildlife, who's the fishing authority of the state of Florida, they just last night they told me that I have more complaints than anybody else combined in this whole region. And this is the beauty of it that most people don't understand. We've never had a violation for fishing on the beach, ever. Not one thing wrong. And so it's really helped us because it's enabled us to strengthen our relationship. But so the controversy started. So then they start calling the news media. Okay, so a reporter called me. I declined, and then there was a local reporter that wanted to do a story with a coastal breeze, I believe it. And I said, the only way I'll do a story is if you come fishing. And I said, if you come experience and document what we do, that's your story.
Yeah.
Okay, and she agreed to do it. And she was sent here to do a hit piece on us. And the first article wasn't a hit piece. It was like, hey, I can't find nothing wrong. And that night, she got to see everything. The police were called on us several times. She's seen how I handled it. Then we caught several sharks, including a massive 14-foot hammerhead. All right, and she got to see us handle everything, and she herself could not find anything that we did wrong. But people aren't satisfied with that. And so it just keeps going and going, and that's what happens is when people don't like something, they go behind your back, and then they try to undercut you or find everything that's wrong with you and try to wipe you out. And I always tell people, I'm not going away. We're going to stay right here, and we're going to fish. So ultimately, the internal workings of the city of Marco Island decided that I was a beach vendor, and they gave me a citation for operating a business on a beach without a permit, even though that there was no such thing for me to get. I tried to get it before any of this ever happened. And then during this process in our discussions, I was told that I would never get one. And Dan Smith from the city of Marco Island, he says, you're not a legitimate business. Charter captains or charters are done on a boat, and you don't own a boat, and you're not a legit business. And then he's the one that said, and plus you're just a fisherman like that were nobody. All right. And so he prejudged the situation because he had pressure from residents of condos. And it also becomes an ownership issue of people think they own the beach.
Yeah.
And you don't own the beach. None of us own the beach. That's the beauty of living in Florida, in the United States of America. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, if you're black or white or where you come from. You have access to walk these beautiful shores, and you have freedom to fish, to swim, to shell, to build sandcastles, to run and play. That's your American right. And so this conflict between the city and I, and I don't like a conflict. I mean, I live here. I don't want to be in a fight with this, but it's political. It has nothing to do with me fishing. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with certain people don't like it. Then there's this myth that's out there that is so far from the truth, is that when we fish, that the sharks come to us. And it's so backwards. Like, we come to fish because the sharks are here. The sharks ain't swimming down the Marco River and look over here at South Beach and say, oh man, there's Marco Island sharks over there. Let's go over there and get some food.
Yeah, you'd think they'd want to do the opposite.
Yeah, they don't want to get a hook in their jaw. You know, and so it's so backwards. Literally, there's thousands of sharks just swimming right here in these waters. They swim among us. There's swimmers in the water right now. There's sharks that are swimming between them so frequently during the day it will blow people's minds. But what's unique is I became educated on this, not because I was a student, but because of all the controversy. I wanted to be prepared to be able to help educate people.
Right.
But in the last 100 years, there's only been 5 shark encounters in all of Collier County.
Really?
5. And one of them was our own guy. And it was because we was releasing a shark and we went a little too deep and it bumped into him. The truth is, and people don't like the truth is that shark encounters don't happen here. You have a better chance of winning the lottery than having a shark encounter right here on Marco Island. It just doesn't happen. And some of those, as you study it out, are people, there was a bait ball, somebody jumped in the middle of the bait ball, and it got bumped by a shark. Well, that's not the shark's fault. That's the dummy that jumped into bait ball's fault. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And the thing is I can't explain it. On the East Coast, there's all kinds of shark encounters on the beach. But here in Marco Island, it doesn't happen. And us fishing here has nothing to do with bringing sharks in. We don't do it. It's impossible. It doesn't work that way. We fish here because of the river and the waterways that are here. This is a natural place for the habitat for sharks to dwell, and therefore we're able to catch some big sharks here.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, they're definitely naturally here. I mean, when my dad used to run some of the parasails around the island, he would say he'd let people up, and they talk about, oh my gosh, please don't put me back down. I don't want to go back down. There's like 5 sharks underneath us. Please don't put us back down.
Right.
And he's like, sucks to suck. You're going back down.
Yeah.
But
And they're safe.
yeah.
I mean, the sharks, they're just not going to. And sometimes people just love controversy. And Marco,
Well, we're no stranger to that.
Marco Island is, it was founded, it was a fishing village.
Yeah.
That's the history. That's who we are.
Collier City Fishing Village, yeah.
Before that we ever had these beautiful condos in our homes, this was a place that fishermen came and they supplied food to the state and to the country. And so all of a sudden now we can't fish here because we swim in those waters. And this is where controversy comes, is like, well, I don't want to swim where fishers are. Well, to be honest with you, fishermen don't want to fish where swimmers are. But guess what? We have to share this water. Just like you have a right to swim here, fishermen have the right to fish here. And so much so in Florida that it was on the election ballot, and 67%.
Yep.
An overwhelming majority of Floridians said, not only are we going to say that fishermen have the right, we're going to give it a backbone, and it's structured in concrete in the Florida Constitution that people have a right to fish and hunt.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry that you don't like it, but guess what? Freedom is for everybody. And what I found is people love freedom as long as it's their freedom.
Yeah.
As long as it's their freedom to collect shells or to swim or to play on the beach. But the moment that you don't like something that someone else's freedom allows them to do, all of a sudden it's like, well, they shouldn't be fishing here on the beach. We're swimming here.
Right.
And so what happens here is where good people will find common ground. That's why we shark fish at night, so that we're not terrifying you. I can shark fish all day long, but we choose not to.
Yeah.
You know what? But sometimes we get so fed up with Karens that we're like, look, I'm just going to fish all day long, and then you just have to deal with it. But we try to be a good neighbor, but freedom is for everybody. People do things on the beach I don't like all the time. But I also understand that's their right. And so I'm never going to be an advocate for taking someone's right away. And that's our plea to everyone. Leave fishermen alone. When I'm fishing with these kids, they could be at home on drugs. They could be playing a video game. They could be stuck in a house, you wishing they'd get out of the house. Fishing changes lives, and it creates a discipline in their lives that will give them lifelong skills to succeed in whatever they do.
Yeah. I know there's also been some, which also very eloquently said. Really liked your answer. There's been some controversy on top of outside of the whether it needs to be permitted or not, about just a respect for wildlife type deal. Now I'm not as familiar with exactly what you do, but when we told a couple people about how we were going to be doing this episode, they're like, "Oh, have you seen some of the videos that they've posted?" What do you have to say to people like that who are just like leave the sharks alone, I guess?
Well, again, it's sport fishing. And I believe in the Bible. And God gave us a command that we have dominion.
Yeah.
Okay? The human race is number one. Okay? And so I believe that we have dominion, and so we have a right to fish. So you say, well, this ain't a spiritual issue. Maybe not, but maybe it is. And so as we look at this, I would say to them, it's a sport fishing. We enjoy our life. It's no different than the tarpon guys catching tarpon.
Right, yeah.
It's no different than the trophy snook. And so what we do with the sharks is we're regulated by the FWC. And we've never, ever had a violation from the FWC.
Yeah.
Now, that says something there to the people that says we're mistreating these animals.
Yeah, because if you were, then the FWC would be shutting you down like that.
And they're here all the time. They were here last night.
Yeah.
And one of the things, they always compliment us for doing things right. You have to take a course online. You have to get your shark fishing permit. You have to do all of these things. You have to do it by the rules. And if you do it by the rules, then guess what? When you catch it by the rules, you get to take pictures. You get to do all these things. But you...
Yeah, because if you weren't doing it by the rules, then why the hell would you be publicizing it?
Well, they would eat us up.
Yeah.
And think we don't hide anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is, look, when you catch something big, you want a picture of it. That's our society. It's our culture.
Yeah.
Everyone's going around taking selfies, okay? Mm-hmm. But you all got to witness me catch that sawfish. And people wanted to take pictures. And it's in the video I just posted on our Facebook today. I said, I'm sorry, guys, we can't. I've got to get it right back out. And we took care of releasing the animal. And you think I didn't want an epic selfie or picture with that sawfish?
Yeah.
I did, but it's prehistoric. It's extremely rare. Just the fact we got to see it was enough.
Yeah.
And so we released it. We got it back. I've got the videos. I can screenshot some things there. We took care of that animal first, okay? Mm-hmm. But bull sharks, black tips, other species of sharks, we can pull them out here. We can take pictures. We can pose. We can do selfies. We can do anything we want to because they're not protected. Mm-hmm. And the ones that are protected, we leave them in the water. We're able to take pictures before we release them. But we have to, when we take the hook out, we have to release the shark immediately. That's the rules. So as long as we abide by the rules, which we do, then we're going to take a picture, just like anybody would. Like you get a trophy buck. Yeah. I mean, you take a picture. Like, it's not animal cruelty. And the thing is, we swim the sharks back off. We've not had any die. But guess what? One could die. Mm-hmm. If you've been fishing at all, you've gut hooked a snapper, you've hooked a fish wrong, and something happens, and unfortunately, it doesn't live. Okay? That's not the fisherman's fault. Animal people, or people think we're cruel. They may say, well, that's cruel. Well, the fish you eat at the market or the restaurant, you should see how they're caught.
Yeah.
Okay? But it's our society. We're human beings. We're first.
Yeah.
And our responsibility is to do the right thing by the animal, but doesn't mean we don't get to enjoy life by sport fishing. Mm-hmm. And that's all that we do. And we strive to take care of them. We make sure that they're healthy, they swim. And if one dies, I'm going to own it and be like, I hate that. Yeah. Okay? The other day, I was by myself fishing, just regular fishing, and a black tip washed up. It was dead. Mm-hmm. All right, and I called FWC. What do I want to do? What should I do with it? Because I knew I was going to get blamed for it anyway. And we didn't catch it, but Fish and Wildlife, they told me, just let nature take its course. And nature has an amazing ability to take care of itself. Mm-hmm. And so there are going to be a shark that may die. I hope not, but we catch so many of them, at some point it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I don't want it to, but just like tarpon die, when they release them, guess who eats it? Sharks.
Sharks, yeah.
Yeah, you think the fishermen want the shark eating it? No, that's how they make a living.
We're just as much of a part of the circle of life as they are.
Yeah, and so that's just part of it. And what I always try to tell people that hate on us is come fish with us. Just come hang out with us for a night. Yeah. And watch what we do in person. A highlight video doesn't show you what we do.
Right, it only shows about 10 seconds.
It's a brief glimpse. Uh-huh. It's made to make you watch it. Mm-hmm. All right, and that's it. But come and see. And then you can see for yourself and then make your judgment.
Yeah.
Of course. I feel like a lot of things recently always end up publicized if they take place on the beach. I don't know. I've at least had my fair share of where I'll just kind of be doing something and people will be recording. And it's really weird. Somebody I know the other day came here with their service dog. They have PTSD. They came with their service dog. And these other people sat next to them, and the people just videoed them and the dog the whole time. And they're like, excuse me, please don't video me. And they go, we're recording the sunset. Well, the sun's all the way over there. Yeah. And I'm over here, what? And so, I mean, it's just crazy the things that people think, exactly, they do on the beach. Mm. It's that weird mentality.
And it's somebody, one time, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're totally fine.
Somebody told me, go back to Fort Myers where you came from.
What do you mean?
Exactly. What a terrible person.
Yeah.
I don't care where you come from. And what if I didn't have the luxury of living here? Does that make me a lesser person? Many times these people that are always complaining about us being on their beach, It's not your beach.
It's my beach too.
It's our beach.
Yeah.
And we got to learn to coexist and to get along.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And guess what, mean person? Guess what, Karen? Your kids would love to fish with me. All right, your family would love to fish with me if you would just get out of the way and let them enjoy the benefits of this.
It's so odd because I think it's a number of things. So number one, you have a lot of people on Marco. Which how long have you lived on Marco now?
Since 2017.
Since 2017. Okay, so you've been here since about Irma.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you're a Floridian now. You've been through two major ones. But with people on Marco are so protective of this island in not always in a good way, where you get people who are literally suggesting to put a toll back on the bridge because they don't want those type of people on the island. What does that mean? I don't know. But we are, on the other side, we tend to be in such a reactionary culture as well. Like, I don't know how much time you spend on Nextdoor.
Not much.
I'm sure they probably...
They're not my fan.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I don't go on Nextdoor anymore.
Yeah, we get... I don't think anybody's a fan of anybody on Nextdoor, to be fully honest. Because we did a video where we tried every pizza place on Marco, and we got ripped to shreds for no reason. So
Right.
I think just people like to be upset about something, and you're going to have a lot of people, especially like keyboard warriors, wanting to...
Yeah, that's what I call them.
Yeah, who are sitting at home, and they're protected.
They have
behind
no
the screen.
life. They have no joy. They have no peace, no happiness. And so here they are struggling, living in this beautiful place, and they still can't find joy in their soul. And the reason why is because they can't walk out here and look at all of these things that God created. It's not the water. The water, you know why God made the water? So that we could enjoy it. Not so that they could enjoy it, so that all people could enjoy it. And so they can't find that true happiness because they're worried about what somebody else is doing.
They're too in their own head.
If I could give a message to the world, especially to our American culture of this day, is mind your own business. You know, mind your own business. If somebody's fishing, tell them, I hope you catch a big one. If somebody's shelling, I hope you find the Juana. Is that what it is, the popular one?
I don't know what it's named. I know what it looks like.
Yeah, I think it's Juana or Juana,
Yeah.
something like that. Like, wish them well. And that's how we change the mindset of our island, of our country, of our state, is when people start wishing one another well instead of trying to find out what they did last summer and get them in trouble. Cancel culture is over.
Yeah.
All right. And there's people that are starting to speak truth, to stand up, and like people like, I mean, it's just time that people learn to get along and coexist and make it work. And there's a bird that is heard over there, and if you don't mind, I'm going to go fix
ahead.
it real quick, okay?
Ryan said, I'm going to get that. Ryan said, I'll catch that. Oh, a poor pelican.
Well, I think that perfectly illustrates your point. That we just pause for you to go run over there and save a pelican. So,
Well, we live on the beach together.
yeah.
Some people, and if you don't like fishing, I understand. It's just a way of life.
Yeah.
And so I encourage you is just, when I grew up when I was younger, people in politics could disagree but still be friends.
Right. Yeah. Not anymore.
And somehow in this life that we live now, everything is so political that you can't be friends if you don't like something someone does. But guess what? We're never going to agree on everything. But the truth is, we probably agree on 85% of the things, and let's just don't worry about the 15%.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree. Because we're not going away. We're going to fish. We're going to make memories. And I'm going to do what I got to do to help my son and to help your kids and Marco kids. We're bringing a kids camp here. We got all kinds of great things on the horizon. And I feel like this is my new calling in life, is to help people learn to fish on the beach. And some people say, their comment is, get a boat. Fishing's on a boat. Well, guess what? Everyone can't afford a boat.
Yeah.
Everyone can't afford a boat charter. Or the whole family can't go on the boat to go fishing.
Yeah, don't fit.
Fishing on the beach, the whole family gets to enjoy it. And it's wonderful. Memories that last a lifetime. And that's the direction we're going. And we're going to get there. We have setbacks from time to time. I have personal obstacles I have to overcome. But we're going to keep fishing and keep making memories. And at the end of the day, we're going to look back a few years from now and say, remember how hard it was? And then, boy, how much it's worth it. And like right now, last month we had over 45 million people watch our videos. Like, that's crazy. The month before we had 30 million. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
And so we have this momentum that's going, and it's exposing Marco Island for the fishery it is and the good people that are here. And it also exposes the Karens. We get attacked.
Yeah, I was actually just about to ask you about real life encounters since we got off the keyboard warrior.
Yeah. I have so many. And I used to just be so kind. Be like, hey, man, we're just fishing. Give them the spiel. And then they go on the internet and blast you anyway. And they do this and that. Or they call the city and code enforcement. Police is coming. And the police have better things to do than come out here and check on us. Now they just come out, give me a high five, and roll on. And we do it right. But the point is when people – so now if you get in my face, you're going to be recorded. And you're going to be on the Karens of Instagram, and you're going to go viral for your stupidity. I've had people put their hands on me. Several times I've had people get in front of our post. I've got several videos that I haven't posted yet of people wanting to protest us fishing with kids. And so you can't do that. This is Florida, and Floridians have the right to fish, and you cannot interfere. You actually go to jail for interfering with someone fishing. That's the law. Most people don't realize that. I've had people, one guy pushed me, put his hands on me. He called the police, and I could have had him arrested, and I showed him grace and mercy because he thought he was right. So, let's just get along. Pull up a chair and watch us so we don't have to have these encounters.
I think that's another big issue is today people are just so misinformed. Like in almost every walk of life.
Right.
And because we have the internet, people are misinformed about how misinformed they truly are.
Right.
People tend to think that they know everything because they have the access to all the information right here, and they're not necessarily utilizing it all the time. So people can yell till they're blue in the face, but one Wikipedia search and there goes their argument.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is misinformation or somebody told them or they seen it on Facebook. So that becomes a law in their mind. And on Marco, let me tell you the rules. You can fish.
Yeah.
All right, that's the rule. Okay, you can
Simple as.
You can shark fish. Look on the Marco Island Police. They put a statement out for us that it's legal to shark fish on Marco Island. You can do it. It's legal. And I don't care what somebody's aunt or granny told you. You can, okay? You have to do it correctly, okay? We have all the tools. Right here in this wagon, we have all the tools that are required by FWC to shark fish safely.
Yeah.
And so you can. So get that out of your mind. And there's nothing you can do to change it because it's in the Constitution of the state of Florida, backed by 67% of Floridians.
Yeah.
And so sometimes people think there's so many people against shark fishing. How do you keep doing it? It's not so many people. It's a small number, 1-2% that are just so loud.
Minority. That's what it always is.
It's loud. They just run. The same people call and complain. They post anonymously on Facebook, and they don't even put their name on behind them. Yeah. If you don't put your name behind a comment or a statement, then you made no statement at all. Like, you can call me out all you want to. Just put your name behind it. I can take it,
Yeah, and I still want an anonymous Nextdoor account so I can say whatever I want unfiltered. But I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I just don't care.
Yeah. So. I mean, it is super crazy to think about how many people have the gall to say things online, but never to your face.
Yeah, and it's like...
And then it's even crazier, the amount of people that have the gall to, come up and put hands on you.
Well, they think they're misinformed. And so I want to be a part of the solution. I've actually met with Marco Island Police and other city people and the city county folks. And we want to be a part of educating young fishermen on the island to make it fun, make fishing fun again. You know, still just make shark fishing great again. Like,
And you can
if
go to
people
the
do it
Good Morning
safely-
Marco website to get blue or orange Make Marco Great Again hats. We have just a couple left in stock.
Oh,
Anyway.
I'm gonna have to get me one of those.
Yeah.
But again, it's better to educate so that people do it correctly.
Yeah.
We caught a hammerhead 4 months ago. It had 5 or 6 hooks in its mouth.
God.
So suddenly I became a dentist. And I pulled all those hooks out of that thing. And the best thing ever happened to that hammerhead was me catching it. Because people were fishing with it uneducated with the wrong equipment. And so we made that shark feel better, released it, and I'm hoping next year on the anniversary to come give me a hug.
Aw.
You know, I mean, we cared enough to help
Rather than
it,
take a bite out of your leg.
So we're gonna find out how intelligent sharks are if he comes back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, old 7 scar hammerhead.
yeah. So,
funny.
but it's special, and I don't want the controversy. I
Yeah.
don't want to fight with my neighbors. I want to be a good neighbor, and I know you don't like everything we do. I understand that, and just like I won't like everything you do, but let's understand each other's freedoms and their rights, and coexist like the sharks coexist with the swimmers. You're not going to get bit by a shark here. It just isn't going to happen
Not
And
unless
so-
you're like
unless you're an
have a
idiot.
big gash on your
Yeah.
leg and basically chum in the water with your own leg. You're
Yeah.
not getting bit by a shark, more likely than not.
Yeah, it just not going.
You said it was 5 shark
Out of the last
encounters?
100 years, and one
Oh.
of them is us.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Insane. That's
Yeah.
great.
Well, I mean, a little bit outside of shark fishing, tell us a little bit about like yourself. You know, what else do you like to do on the island? What are some of your favorite places?
I like to eat local food, which everything's kind of local here, but I'm a creature of habit. I'll do the same thing over and over again, eat at the same place or dinner. But we catch fish and we eat fish. We live, breathe, drink, everything is fishing. Jackson, so I teach him to, they got some action over there. I teach him how to catch the fish, and then I taught him how to clean the fish. Now he knows how to cook the fish, and so it's just been a whole educational series from the sea to the kitchen with him, and so that's really what I spend my time doing with him. We got local friends that I meet fishing. I got friends all over the country now even around the world because of fishing, and so that's what that's what I do. We live and breathe this.
Yeah, it
This
seems
isn't
like a
something-
great community that's being built.
Yeah, it's. I'm like the neighborhood dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everyone wants to come by. I've got 1 million fishing poles, and if they want to go fishing, they know they can come with me, and I'll take them fishing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I do. You know, it's pretty special to me.
Cool. Do you think it's time for some rapid fire questions?
I think so.
All right.
Oh boy, rapid
So
fire.
these are some general
They
questions
caught a
we
little
asked.
hammerhead.
What are they?
Is it? Little
Jackson,
hammerhead?
bring it over here. Y'all come over here. All of you, come here. Come on. This guy's viral.
Mm.
Juicy.
Let's go.
Look, so this here, folks, this is Jackson. This is Juicy. Okay, he posted a video 2 weeks ago on Instagram, and he caught his first fish. It was a bluegill, and he held it, and he went nationwide, worldwide viral.
I like your hair.
How many, Juicy? How many views have you got?
9.5 million.
Nice.
And what are you doing here?
Shark fishing.
All right, show him. So anyway, and this is Grayson. He's from Ohio. Jackson's friend met him last year fishing, so now they're buddies. Take the rod. There you go, Juicy. So, back to the content here. But
Yeah.
this is why we do this. Like, memories that last a lifetime. The kids love it. Go catch another one. All right. Good job, Juicy. And that's a bonnethead. They're also really good to eat. If you want to eat a shark, that's a good one to eat. He'll go throw it in the water, and that's it. All right,
That's
back to
amazing.
rapid fire.
Yeah,
Sorry
back
for the
to rapid
interruption.
fire.
Well, that was
perfect.
I'm glad that it happened while we were here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I almost feel like eventually we have to do a part 2, come out late night.
Love it. Y'all welcome with us anytime.
these go up to 130,000 ISO, so we
We'll have
might
to
actually
do it
be
one
able to
night.
do some.
Yeah. When it ain't turtle season, we have production
Got lights, yeah.
Yeah, but turtle season,
Oh yeah.
we're
Yeah.
Wanna
strict by
stay
the
away
rules,
from it.
So, yeah.
Of course.
Actually, you know what? Before we get back into rapid fire, you told me a little bit of your turtle encounter story, which we just did the whole turtle episode last week.
Yeah, that's what it's so neat because before turtle season, and we call them the turtle police. Everybody gets a nickname or a name on the beach, but it's I didn't really understand it.
Mhm.
Like, let's be honest with you, I'm like, this is stupid. It's a turtle. All right, and I may get some grief for saying it that way, but that's how I felt. But one night we were shark fishing on the beach, and we were half asleep, and I looked down, and there were hundreds of turtles coming from underneath of our chairs out to the ocean, and it literally changed my life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm serious. There's a video on our Instagram I posted the other day just of the one little one. I followed it all the way. I'm like, come on, everybody's cheered it on. And it made it to the ocean. Others didn't. They scattered off. Your instinct is touch it. And I knew enough from the turtle police, don't touch it. Just let nature take its course. And it was such a spectacular moment of the circle of life.
Yeah.
And to maybe ruin this compassionate story, only one out of like 10,000 turtles actually live.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than that. I think
Is it 100,000?
Half of them make it to the water.
Yeah, they make it to the water.
Then, to make it back to be able to nest, it's usually 2 or 3 out of every nest.
So then, because reason why they don't make it back, guess what?
Sharks.
Sharks.
Mm-hmm.
That's the primary bait for tiger sharks. They love to eat turtles.
Yeah. The last week, I don't know if this was on the episode or it was before. We were told about a beached loggerhead that they had down on this end of the beach, and they called FWC and they had a couple people trying to help get it back into the water and everything. And before anyone could get there to help, tiger shark came and took a big bite out of it because tiger shark's one of the few that actually have the bite force.
Yeah, the bite through them. They love them. Yeah. But so it's just a circle of life, and but still now we're extra careful with our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to protect it. I love those little guys.
Yeah.
But I had the experience by being on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And
the same thing that you're telling other people to do.
Right.
Where if maybe before you could say that you didn't really care about the turtles, but then you experienced it and it's like, well, golly. And
if you experience shark fishing, you understand why we do it.
100%. Yeah.
And then you get to witness it. What an educational lesson for your children to see a shark in the wild, up close, and how we handle it and how all that works. It's incredible. It really is, and it is educational. There's no better education.
Mm-hmm.
One of the little kids I had fishing, he had screamed on one of my videos, is my favorite one. He said, "They don't teach this in school," while we was reeling in the shark, and it was just, and that statement was so true,
Mm-hmm.
and it's special. But no, I'm a turtle fan now.
Cool.
I'm a teenage mutant ninja turtle on the beach. But that's the thing too. Like, when we should never allow someone's financial place in society to determine whether someone else can experience the turtles hatching and walking to the sea. And that's what some of these Karens that are always complaining about us being on their beach, they're trying to erase the ability for people to experience the true circle of life that happens only when you're here. Mm-hmm. And it should never be closed to anyone.
Like this in the world.
No money makes a difference of where people can walk or go, especially here in Florida.
Mm-hmm. It's great. It's great. Yeah, I love that. Let's see. That wasn't a rapid fire question. That was just a question in general.
Yeah. I enjoyed it though.
Yeah, same here.
How about you start?
Okay, so if you could have lunch with any historical figure or celebrity, who would it be?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump?
Yes.
You were the second person to say Donald Trump.
All right.
Which the first was specifically because they were a business person and they wanted to get to know their Trump's business mind and all that.
I would want to meet him just to say thank you for what he's done for conservatives. He did what he promised with the Supreme Court. Like, so many things are so much deeper than just the politician.
Yeah.
I just think he did what he told us he was going to do, and I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah. I personally don't comment on national politics on the podcast, other than the one time that I wore a hat supporting my one political candidate who didn't win, but he's still in power, so I'm okay.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I don't know if that gives away who it was, but
Oh, that's all right. I understand.
But
And I'm not, like, I could care less. I always
Yeah.
tell people, look, just exercise your right to vote.
Mhm.
And if you don't vote for my guy, I don't care.
Yeah.
We still buddies. Now, we're still down like 4 flat tires. You know what I mean? You don't got to put air in it because I like somebody else.
Yeah,
So.
that's. I've never heard that before, and I'm going to start using that. I'm still down at 4
Yeah.
flat tires. The last one I heard like that was, "I'm so down that gravity's like, get off this guy. He's doing it all himself." But yeah, sorry. Jordan, go ahead.
I'll stick with another traditional one. Coffee or tea?
Coffee,
Yeah, there's no tea for you.
not hot tea. Every now and I drink sweet tea.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're a Kentucky man, so you got
Southern sweet tea, yes.
Yeah, a lot of people get on me because I don't really drink sweet tea.
Uh-huh.
I prefer unsweet tea, but more than anything else, I love an Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, I like Arnold Palmer.
In fact, when I used to go to Sunset all the time, they would bring me a pitcher of Arnold Palmer because they knew I was going to go through it that fast. So, let's see. Oh, dang it! It completely escaped me. The other one we always ask.
Mountains?
Huh?
Beach or mountains?
So you grew up in Kentucky. Now you're here on the beach. I could probably assume the answer to this question: beach or mountains?
That's a tough one, but it's going to be the beach because I never want to be cold again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hate cold weather.
Yeah. What's so living on Marco now? What's your favorite season?
Summer.
Mm-hmm. Kids are out of school, so you can do whatever you want.
Traffic, and you get to go
Yeah.
out and eat, and they appreciate you being there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of course.
You get good service instead of like, look, there's 100 people out there waiting. You can go fly a kite. You know, you get back to being local. It's special to be local here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, relationships. People have time to talk to you and stuff, and so
Everybody knows everybody by at least like a few orders of degree.
Yeah.
I mean, we found out we had a mutual friend right before, and they don't even live here.
Yeah, they
It's
live
crazy.
in Kentucky. That's crazy. Danville, Kentucky.
Uh-huh.
Shout out Brian Montgomery and
shout out Jay and Amy Atkins.
yeah, y'all
two
go
of my
have
favorite
lunch
people in the world.
and y'all buy each other's lunch and send us a gift card for lunch.
There we go. Yeah, yeah. Brian Montgomery and Jay Atkins. We're nominating you two to go out to lunch together on the account of David the shark fisher and Ryan the podcaster.
Look, pastors, both of you, Brian and what's the other one's name?
Jay.
Brian and Jay, sow a seed right now.
Yeah.
Sow a seed into this podcast
No.
right now.
No, leave the 10% for the house, not for us. Over and above, maybe. Maybe
Give
if
us
you
an
want to,
offering,
you
yeah.
can. I'm not taking a love offering on this podcast. But if anyone does want to give any money to the podcast because they like what we do, there is a section where you can donate to the church. To the church.
To the church.
Where you can donate to the podcast. We are not a 501c3. This is not a nonprofit. You will not get a tax break for giving us money. But if you want to, you can. So that's entirely up
And
to
it'll
you.
help them out. Equipment is expensive.
It is, yeah. No, each of these cameras is like at least a 3K setup. So
Yeah.
with that.
Oh no. I don't know why, like, in my brain I thought you were going to ask another one.
I can. What sort of music do you listen to when you're fishing, if any?
I like classic rock, country. I like whatever people want to listen to.
What
I'm easy come, easy go.
What sort of classic rock do you listen to mostly?
Like Pat Benatar, Journey, that genre, whatever.
There we go. Some Dio, maybe.
Outside of shark fishing, do you prefer saltwater or freshwater?
Saltwater by far. And the reason why is I said it a million times probably, but it's a surprise every time.
Yeah.
You just never know. Like when you freshwater, you're bass fishing, you're going to catch a bass. Saltwater fishing, you're snapper fishing, you'll catch a grouper. You never know.
What is your favorite restaurant on the island?
Oh, man, that's a good one. I love Italian deli. It's one of my favorites.
Second Italian deli today.
So, I think it's a 5-star meal on paper plates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's there's value there. It's not overpriced. My favorite high end is Oyster Society. I love the Oyster Society. I like oysters, and so I like to go there for special occasions or whatever. But my go-to is Italian Deli.
Which we did we tried every pizza on Marco Island episode, and both of us ranked Italian Deli #1.
Yeah, they're really good. Jackson loves them.
There's a heck of a lot of great pizza places on Marco, but it's just barely topped the edge. So we're going to be interviewing Jared Graffoni pretty soon.
Awesome, he's good.
So yeah, which I have interviewed him before for my old podcast, back before it was Marco specific. But
okay.
I can go for another one if you're still thinking.
I mean, I had one, but I know the answer, so I don't think I want to ask it.
Okay.
Yeah, you go for one.
Favorite concert you've ever been to?
Favorite concert, Journey.
Journey?
Yeah.
When'd you see Journey?
I've seen them several times.
So,
I haven't been to the truth is I haven't been to a lot of concerts.
Yeah.
But they were my favorite.
My brain just completely gave up on me. I'm so sorry.
It's always the sun. It's the sun, I swear. It's happened to me on our bean episode with the coffee.
Right, I keep coming up with questions, and I'm like, that's not a rapid fire question, though.
Well, you could just ask it. I mean, we're here for as long as we want to be.
I mean, that's true. I'll wait till we get done with the segment.
Okay. Well, I can't really think of any more rapid fire. Do you have any questions for us?
So, I appreciate you asking and interviewing different businesses and things happen around. How did this podcast come to be?
So this is actually kind of a funny story. We've told it a couple times on the podcast, but I used to run a podcast called the Pickle Jar Podcast with my friend Keaton. Officer Ashby on the island, his son, and also the brother of the owner of the Bean Trolley Cafe. So we had a podcast for about 4 years. For about 3 years. We did it through COVID and a little bit beyond that. He moved to Texas, and we stopped talking about anything Marco specific. And then slowly, he had to get married, so he had much less time, and then slowly just dwindled down and down. And the Zoom episodes weren't doing so hot as well. And in theory, the podcast is still running. We can start it back up anytime we want to, but we have not recorded an episode in 2 years. So probably not. But then I was on my way to Open Jam at Kava Culture one Monday morning, probably last week in June last year.
Almost a year.
Yeah, I was on my way, and it is literally a 4-minute drive from my house to Kava Culture. And I want to start another podcast about Marco Island, because I think there's so many stories to tell here. There's so many different people that come from all walks of life. I mean, we've interviewed, you for one, and then we interviewed every single person who ran for city council. We interviewed the iguana hunter. We just interviewed an expert on sea turtles. And
Aquaculture, dolphin tiki.
Yeah. Patty Murphy's. And then, of course, going forward, also MK from the Cycle Bar as well. And then the med spa in Marco.
So many places.
Yeah, so there's so many stories to tell about Marco, and I thought about it for about 20 seconds, and I couldn't think of anybody else that had an idea similar to this. The closest thing you can think is the Coastal Breeze or Wink News. Not me. So I thought about it for a minute, and I had no idea what to call it, but I was like, who would I want to have as a co-host on that? And I'm like, I went through a short list of people in my head, and I immediately came to Jordan, because I knew that Jordan, I wasn't sure if she was been here her whole life, but I knew she spent a significant amount of time on Marco. And then also, she's good with the social media, and also she can talk very well and can hold a conversation with people. So I knew that those are what I'm looking for in someone who knows the social media aspect of it, someone who knows how to carry a conversation well, and also someone without an annoying voice. So as luck would have it, I get to Cavaculture, and Jordan is sitting at the end of the bar. This was shortly after you stopped working there, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
I was just between things.
Yeah. And then I walked up to Jordan, and I said, do you want to start a podcast?
And I said, sure.
And she just said yes before I even said what the idea was behind it.
Yeah,
and then I
YOLO.
pitched the idea, and I think that night we came up with Good Morning Marco.
We did.
And then the next day I came up with the logo and the branding. The following Monday, so 1 week later, we shot our first episode. Following Monday, we shot our second episode. And then the following Monday, we released our first. And I think with it, just
I watched your first one, yeah.
yeah, the first one people have comments on, but
It's funny.
yeah, I still like our first episode.
I like our first episode.
It's to get to know who we are, so I think that's
introductory,
important. So I just it's such an interesting place, and nobody's talking about it.
Yeah,
I
and
don't-
there's plenty to talk about.
I don't think anyone other than us.
I think maybe that's
could.
why I started shark fishing, is to give them something to talk about.
There you go. When did you start shark fishing?
About a year. Well, I've been fishing for my whole life.
Well,
but
when did you start?
started
doing
doing this? Our social media we launched about 14 months ago.
Okay, yeah. So we're coming up around the same time.
Yeah.
You're doing
So-
a little bit better on the social media end of things. than we are, but-
We're all in it together. It's all right. It's not a competition.
Yeah. Well, also we're serving a completely different niche as well.
Yeah.
You're getting some reactions on the stuff.
Oh,
that you're
big time.
posting.
That's all right. It's
Our
part of it.
reactions don't go further than these four. I want to say four walls, but these four beaches.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Oh, is there anything else that we want to mention while we're here?
Just final comment. I love your hat. I love Marco Island Bait and Tackle.
Yeah, Marco,
They are
that's another thing. Somebody made a comment one time that their shrimp was $1 more than someone else's. Marco Island Bait, like Mike and Laura, they're great people. They got their shrimps inside that it lives 4 times longer than somebody else's.
Yeah.
And somebody, if you don't want to buy their shrimp, don't. But why you want to go online and like try to make them look bad over $1?
And does anywhere else have a beautiful mural like that? Come on.
Oh, that
Go
painting's
visit Mike and
phenomenal.
Laura.
Look.
And I
We
mean,
love 'em.
for a while, they were the only place with the live bait because Caxambas wasn't.
Yeah,
open.
there was clothes, and the thing is they take care of you. I always say this: a sweet taste of a cheap shrimp is long gone after the savor of a dead shrimp settles in. That's a word right there, and that's where Marco. They just
That's
give,
a word.
They just give you, you get, and then they give you.
They're huge shrimp
Yeah.
too. They're
They
huge.
take care of their customers.
Yeah.
Jackson loves them. We love them. We've caught a lot of fish because of Marco Island Bait and Tackle. So shout out to them.
Cool.
Thanks for allowing me to just give you an open book of what's going on with us, and thank you for allowing me to share and
Absolutely.
asking the questions. And we are an open book. If you have questions, send me an email, shoot me a text, a DM, or whatever. You can check us out on Instagram at Marco Island Sharks, Facebook. I'm at Marco Island Sharks. We have YouTube as well. All of it's Marco Island Sharks, and help us out and help me help my son reach his dreams. That's really what it's about.
Yeah.
We also have equipment rental. We have top of the line fishing poles available to rent, umbrellas, canopies, all kinds of stuff. If you need something like that, you can also find that on our website at marcoislandsharks.com. And more than that, if you're worried about shark fishing or us fishing on the beach, I give you an open invitation to come fish with us.
There
And
you
if
go.
you'll come fish with us, then you can pass your judgment, and we'll agree to disagree if we have to, or hopefully we'll become lifelong friends.
Yeah.
So.
Judge not. Cool.
Awesome.
All right, and now it is your time to do any shout-outs that you want. Go ahead and plug your social media, plug anything that you want.
Hey guys, thank
Lest ye yourself shall be judged. So,
Yeah.
with that, again, David, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, and also a huge thanks to Jackson for coming on the podcast
Sure,
earlier
yeah.
as well.
Yes, official friends of the podcast.
Yeah,
Awesome. We love it. Thank you for the opportunity. So.
Yeah, you two, Grayson and Juicy. So,
Awesome.
I mean, I can't wait to see where you guys end up in the future. I mean, as far as like Jackson's whole fishing career, and just as far as people coming around to you guys fishing on the island, I'm just really excited to see what next year has for you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm sure we'll be talking to you at some point in the future. As
I
well.
hope so. Hope one day
So.
you get some film of us actually catching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I pitched this before, but I've been wanting to do like some, like mockumentary style, like Nat Geo type stuff on the
That's what
island.
we'll work. We
There's
want to do it.
so
Yeah.
many different things. Like I really want to follow the iguana hunter guy around on a hunt and do like some David Attenborough voiceover.
Yeah.
I can do a fairly decent impression,
Yeah.
so I don't care. I'm not going to use the AI voice for that one. I'll do it myself.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well, yeah.
at some point when we get a little crew.
Yeah.
I got some people in mind for a crew. I just got to get them out.
It'll be
Awesome.
fun.
So cool. All right. With
Thank you
that,
so much, David.
Thank you.
Jordan, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at jgcraley03, and you can also find me at the.marco.current. You can find my social media marketing and managing work page for Current Creations FL on Instagram, or if you just add .com, you can find my website. And Ryan, where can they find you?
You can find me at ryanmsullivan.com. That is RyanMsullivan.com. And you can also find me on Instagram at real, R-E-A-L, Ryan, R-Y-A-N, Sullivan, S-U-L-L-I-V-A-N. I was going to say .com, but there's no .com at the end of my Instagram handle. You can also go, of course, to our website, goodmorningmarco.com, so you can stay up to date on all that we've got going on here. Make sure if you want to share the podcast with somebody, the easiest way to do that is to go goodmorningmarco.com/new, because that will always auto-populate the newest YouTube video and the newest audio episode of the podcast. Speaking of which, Jordan, where can they listen to Good Morning Marco?
You can listen to it on YouTube, Spotify, and any place that has your podcast favorites.
This is true. Now, remember, if you are listening on audio platforms, be it Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Audible, give us a 5-star rating over there. That helps the podcast incredibly. And also make sure if you're watching on YouTube, give us a like and subscribe to the channel, and also hit the bell notifications so that you can stay up to date and stay notified whenever we release a new episode every single Monday. With that, here's the sponsor of this episode.
This episode of Good Morning Marco is brought to you by Tyler Buchan of the Golf Group. Located right here on Marco Island, they're your go-to experts for luxury living on Marco Island and beyond. Whether you're looking for a waterfront home with golf access, a condo with stunning beach views, or a private retreat down on Hideaway Beach, Tyler and his team will guide you to your home. Visit thegolfgroup.com to start your search today, or call 239-420-1099. Once again, that number is 239-420-1099. Go to thegolfgroup.com to find out more. Thank you so much to Tyler and his team for sponsoring this episode of Good Morning Marco.
And with that,
And no, I'm just kidding.
4 would be too rich for my blood.
And with that, it really does mean. Oh no, how does it go?
Thank you so much for watching,
It really does mean the most.
and we will see you all in the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Cool.
Good morning, Marco Island. This is the Good Morning Marco podcast, the first, best, and only podcast on Marco Island.
And I'm your other host, Ryan Sullivan.
And today we have some very special guests.
And I'm David with Marco Island Sharks, and just want to say thank you for giving us this opportunity to share a little bit about our story with this podcast.
Of course, I'm so excited to talk about it. We are here on the beach, which is a fun place to record. I believe I met you like 1 or 2 weeks ago when you guys had caught the sawfish.
Yeah, that was a pretty awesome moment. That's pretty, ironically, wasn't fishing for a sawfish, but that's what took the line, and what a surprise.
Yes.
Cool.
I mean, I can't wait to get deeper into it, but right now, just commercial first.
This episode of Good Morning Marco is brought to you by Tyler Buchan of the Golf Group. Located right here on Marco Island, they're your go-to experts for luxury living on Marco Island and beyond. Whether you're looking for a waterfront home with golf access, a condo with stunning beach views, or a private retreat down on Hideaway Beach, Tyler and his team will guide you to your home. Visit thegolfgroup.com to start your search today, or call 239-420-1099. Once again, that number is 239-420-1099. Go to thegolfgroup.com to find out more. Thank you so much to Tyler and his team for sponsoring this episode of Good Morning Marco.
We moved to Marco Island because we was looking for something different. the school systems where we came from were just terrible. And so we was faced with a decision either go to private school or come to a place that we love, like Marshall. We've been coming to for so many years. And so we made the transition to go back to him. And one passion that he's always had since he was born, I always tell people he came out with a fishing pole.
Yeah.
And if you ever ask him what he wants to do, the answer is, let's go fishing. And before we got here, as a father, I had a hard time really kind of having that connection point with him. Some dads have basketball, some have football. Here on Marco, it's soccer. And when we moved to Marco, we started fishing the shorelines of this beautiful place. And it gave a true connection with me and Jackson. And so we found ourselves on the beach. How often would we on the beach?
Like pretty much everything.
And so naturally we have this bond that was developed because of fishing. And we always say that fishing makes memories that last a lifetime. And these are times spent with each other that we never going to forget. And so we spent so much time, I was like, man, we got to figure out a way to make this at least help get our gear covered or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's how the Marco Island Sharks was birthed or came to be. And it's something that we did together to help other families make the same type of memories that we have, so many of them.
So, Jackson, how do you like Marco compared to Kentucky?
I like it.
Yes. That's a very good story. So, that Jordan I think
Catching that sawfish and
Oh,
That's
wow.
fun. I will say a lot of younger kids never really have that opportunity.
And that's what's so special for me as a dad is like on the beach you see it set up and you'll see the kids automatically come here, congregate around us and ask the questions, what are you fishing for? What are you doing? And that's where I'm so proud of Jackson for it because he meets so many friends. He's friendly. He's always willing to share the fishing experience with them. And he's caught so many fish. He hands them the pole, here, you reel them. And so as a parent, that makes me proud. It also teaches him how to help others, and they get to make the memory together. And that's what we're so proud of him. He's come out of his shell also because of fishing right here in Marco.
Jackson, what's your favorite part about fishing?
just reeling in the big fish and it's a surprise.
Yeah, not knowing exactly what it is that you're reeling. What do you, so you go to TDE, right? What are your friends at school have to say about like the shark fish?
I think it's really cool. They want to come to again.
Nice.
And then you guys normally come around sunset, correct?
When we're doing shark fishing, we come in sunset. And the reason why, the sharks are here all day, every day. But we come at sunset because it's safer. It's safer for beachgoers. It's not necessarily safer for us because we have to deal with it in the darkness opposed to the light. But we want to be courteous, and so when we fish at night, most intelligent people are out of the water at that time.
Yeah.
And so therefore there's no safety concerns or whatever. And it's also a prime feeding time for all fish is in the evening hours into the darkness. So that's why we fish it.
So let's see. Why specifically shark fishing? Like, is there is it catch and release sharks, or is it a or I actually don't know very little about it.
So it's a type of sport fishing.
Yeah.
So like Marco Island is famous for tarpon fishing.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So it's really no different than that. It's just a different species of fish.
Mm-hmm.
And the shark gives you the adrenaline. It's got the power. And then when you land a shark on the beach, just the pure beauty of God's wonderful creatures. That how is something that powerful actually swimming right there?
Yeah.
Where we go, where we love to enjoy and swim ourselves. And so it's really a spectacular experience to witness it. And then like what Jackson said, it's a surprise every time. You never know what it's going to be. Is it going to be a hammerhead? Is it going to be a black tip? Is it going to be a nurse? Is it going to be a tiger shark? hopefully one day it's going to be a great fight. You know, that's our dream. But it's something that is, it's an adrenaline rush for sport fishing. And careful when we do catch them that we get into this later that we release them as quickly as possible. We handle the sharks with care. And we have this motto that people are like, well, what do you do with them? Our goal is to be on as many Christmas cards as possible. So we want to take pictures with people. We want to be a part of their memories. We want to help them make that memory so that when they go home, kids, aunts, uncles, cousins, they'll always talk about, man, I went to Marco Island and I caught a hammerhead, or I seen this guy catch that sawfish, or whatever. And it's not just good for them, it's also good for this special place that we call home. You know, we're fortunate to call Marco Island home, but making special memories with people, it'll make them come in the future, and it also secures the future of this beautiful destination.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful answer. And what would a kind of evening in the life for you? Like, what would it look like?
So basically how it works is we come down and we look at the water. Like now we have regular surf fishing rods out now, which is just regular fishing. A catfish, a stingray, or a shark can hit it. Just normal bait. Nothing out of the ordinary. That's another beauty of saltwater. You just never. But when we shark fish, we'll come down. We usually use stingray for bait. We call it shark meat, because that's what they love to eat. And so we'll cut pieces of bait that's anywhere from 5 pounds much to 12 to 14 pounds, and we send it out, and then we just wait. And so one of our taglines is family time reimagined. And so if you're going to come shark fishing with us, it's the sharks are the bonus. So what we really encourage people to do when they come with us, our friends, our families, is to bring a cooler, bring your snacks, your drinks, bring a game, bring a ball, and just enjoy the beach in the quiet time. When everyone's not there, you got the whole beach to yourself. And the kids are running around, adults may be listening to music, telling stories. And as culture has changed, that's one of the most is family time. And so it's kind of like a modern day, let's sit around the table and have family time. That's when conversations are had. That's when you talk about what are you going to do next year for your vacation, or what are you going to do with the kids. And get to tell stories about what somebody's dad did when they was a kid. And relive these moments because there's quiet time. Shark fishing is not like other fishing where you have to work. Once we drop the baits, you just sit, chill, and you wait. And you wait. And sometimes you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and what? Yeah. So you're just waiting for something to happen. And so during that time, it forces people to come together and have a good time, have conversations, and talk about family time.
Yeah.
And so it's family time reimagined. And then people drift off to sleep. Sometimes it's the best nap time for it. And literally, it'll go from 0 to 1,000, just like that. And then the fight is on. That's when you're just like, wow, what's happened here? And that's part of the thrill of it is the shark's the bonus, but when you go home, we want people to talk about, man, we had a great time hanging out.
Yeah.
And if we do that, then we've accomplished it. And if we catch a shark as well, that's the icing on the cake, if you will.
So for both of y'all, out of all of the sharks, like literally all over the world, what would you say is your favorite shark?
Probably a sawfish, hammerhead, tiger.
So my favorite fish is the tiger shark. A lot of times people love to catch a hammerhead because they're the head honcho of the sea. All right, they're the strong and mighty ones, even though tigers are just as strong. But the tiger is such a beautiful thing. It's like when God made the tiger shark, he showed off a little bit.
Yeah.
And so pictures don't do it justice for any of these sharks. And when you see a tiger shark in the water up close and personal, you see the size of its jaws, the beauty of the texture of its skin, and the tiger stripes that are literally there that gave it its name. It's just spectacular. And sometimes you look at it in awe. And so my favorite shark is a tiger shark by far. I'd rather catch it just for the pure beauty of that animal. It's incredible.
Oh, that's a great question. I like mako sharks. Mako sharks. I forget how to pronounce
Mako,
it.
you got it right.
Yeah. I know that they're one of the faster sharks that there are, and they're a bit smaller, a little bit more slender than most sharks. If I'm
Yeah, they
correct,
are.
right? Yeah, I like those.
I would say mine is either a whale shark or those ones that have like the little whip on the end.
Thrasher.
tail.
Yeah. Yeah, those are pretty cool. And to be honest with you, when we catch a shark, like everybody, we always ask the same question: what kind of shark you want to catch? And everybody has a different answer. But the truth is, when we do catch a shark, it don't matter if it's 3 feet or 10 feet. In their eyes, they're all 10 feet, right? And they're all just a thing of beauty. You're like, wow, it's a shark right there. And that's the most rewarding feeling for us is to be able to. And I know at the end of the day, they're going to remember that the rest of their life. And that to be a part of helping these people.
Now, is there anywhere where it's like a dream where you would want to go shark fishing other than Marco?
You know, people like, well, where do you want to go to vacation? And me and Jackson have the same answer. This is vacation.
Yeah.
Like, there's no place like this in the whole world. And that's the beauty of it. And so we get opportunities for fishing that are afforded us because of our social media and different things. But we got to fish with Mark the Shark on the East Coast. And he's like a legend in shark fishing. Like he has black and white photos of him shark fishing on the beach.
Wow.
And so we get to go with him. We enjoy that in Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach area, whatever. We really enjoy that. But there's no place we'd rather be than fishing right here in Marco. It's that good.
Yeah. I was just wondering if maybe like somewhere up in like Cape Cod or something like to.
Great Whites,
like,
yeah.
Or-
Yeah, I don't like cold. It's cold up there.
Oh, yeah. My just quick move on to the next thing. My mom, back in the day, she watched them film the "We're Gonna Need a Bigger Hug" scene from Dogs.
Yeah.
Up there. So
That's awesome. That's spectacular.
Yeah.
Anything else for Jackson? Or you want to give anything?
Let's see. Jackson, is there anything else that you want to? You've got this camera in front of you. Anything you want to say to people at home? You want to give anybody a shout out?
So Jackson, how many sharks do you think you caught?
This year, probably
This year, like in 2025.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just Jackson by itself.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so he's an awesome fisherman. He's sponsored by Pure Fishing, which is one of the largest fishing companies in the world. And tell him what you want to be when you grow up.
Protecting all safety.
I think you already are. So I don't think you need to be that when you grow up. You're already that. That's what I tell people.
Yeah,
It's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Exactly what I'm doing right now.
and that's one of the other special things is so many people, they'll come down on the beach just to see Jackson. And so, and to watch him step in and help people get their lines messed up or struggle tying a knot. He's 9 years old and he can do all that. And so he helps adults, senior citizens and stuff. And we're super proud of him. And he's sure got a big future in fishing.
Yeah. Jack, do you have like a super early memory of fishing? Like maybe back when you guys were in Kentucky still?
No, not really.
Okay, that's fine.
When he was a baby, he used to make us go get shrimp. And he'd play with the shrimp in the pool until they died. So when everybody else wanted cars and trucks and stuff, he wanted a dozen shrimp.
He wanted to play with
he could
bait.
play with the bait. And so since he was in diapers, he was playing with shrimp. And so he was definitely born to fish.
Well, Jackson, sounds like you got a really bright future ahead of you. Sounds like you're doing a good job at it already. So, I mean, that's more than I can say for most night. So, it's very impressive.
Next time, there anything like right?
Yeah. I think so, one day. Alright, anything else we want to discuss with you, Jackson?
Have them check the boat. That's a shark one.
Cool.
Nice to meet you, Jackson.
Thank you, Jackson.
Can you move this out of the way for you?
What I'm going to do